right. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Good. I just want to just make sure that I just address you in the right way. How would you like me to address you during session today?
As my name?
Is
Yeah.
Suzette work?
Yes.
Okay. And I also want to just let you know that this is confidential. So we'll be going through the intake process right now.
Okay.
I am a mandated reporter, so the only time that I would be reporting this is for like courts, if there was any like court involvement or I was subpoenaed, if there was any risk to yourself or others, then those are times, or child neglect or elderly abuse, those are times where I would have to report. But
Mhm.
other than that, I want you to feel relaxed. If you have any questions for me, any concerns, if you see me writing, this is me just taking some notes for intake purposes, just to better see how I can assist you
Mhm.
in your journey. I will ask some really basic questions. It may feel like I'm getting really into your life and really personal. If
Mhm.
any point in time you do not want to answer something, you can let me know. You can tell me
Okay.
to stop. This is whatever you want to do in this session, we can do. Um, and so I want you to just know you have like power in this session, okay?
Okay.
You're not obligated to answer anything I ask, okay?
Okay.
I'm going to start. I know you mentioned on your intake that you were coming in today for some things. Can you tell me a little bit more about what you're coming in today for?
So right now, I've been experiencing a lot of anxiety. It's to the point where I do have maybe a panic attack here, or like one anxiety attack here, an anxiety attack there. The thing is because of like I'm going for my graduate program, so that's one thing too, where it's a very stressful. I'm also working as a manager at at a warehouse, so it's very stressful when it comes to that. Um, I'm balancing a lot when it comes to working almost 60 hours, plus also going to school for another 60 hours. Feels like it sometimes with the assignments. So it's a little like a little hassle where it comes back and forth.
You have a really busy life.
Yeah,
Um, I that could be really stressful.
very
Uh,
stressful.
how do you usually cope with these work weeks that you're going through?
So I used to be really good about basically just trying to like figure out if like a planner, like my schedule, like I'll say Monday I'll do here like this amount, and I'll have a time block, for to do my homework. Then I'll, go to my lunch break, do my homework there, go back to work, then get off of work, work on another time block of homework. So it's a lot. It's a lot very stressful when it comes to that. I feel like sometimes I really don't have like a social life because I'm just like balancing work and school every single day, and it's just dreading when it comes to it.
Yeah, I can see that. That's a lot to balance. And how are you doing in classes? What's going on with classes and
Um,
work? What do you?
I feel like work, I'm falling a little behind when it comes to it because I'm just, put more of my attention at school. And then when I go to school, I'm doing kind of the bare minimum, which is my C average grades right now. Some of my assignments have been turned in late because I'm just trying to balance everything out.
Yeah, that's a lot of stress. And I do want to like go back into some things that we may it'll seem a little bit off topic right now, but just know there's a method to this, okay?
Yeah.
Please just tell me about a little bit about your home life, your background, if I can know a little bit more about that.
For right now, it's just me and my mom and my dad. I do have my brother, but he just moved out, so he's in his own little life. But it's mostly my mom and my dad. Just my mom just adding a little bit of stress on me, trying to get me where my grades are at. So that's one thing. That's another stressor where I'm like, here goes again, me hearing the story of on and on of my mom just repeating everything.
Okay, so you have mom, dad, brother just moved out. How old is brother?
He is 35.
Okay, and how old are you?
I am 30.
30. Okay. And parents are still together, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any partners? Are you
As of right now, I don't. Right now, I'm just kind of like, because I don't have a social life, I'm just going back and forth with school, focusing on that, if anything.
okay? You said you didn't have a social life, so you're not able to see your friends, huh?
No, not at all. I only see them maybe like once a month, twice every 2 months, if anything, but it's just, I don't get to see them at all.
Oh no, I know that has to be really, really hard. Are you really close
Yeah.
with your friends?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so you have some close friends. And I do want to ask you, has your parents went to school, college, any?
No.
Okay.
I
So
think the
you're
most
are
they
you
graduated was fifth grade or something like that.
okay, fifth grade. And then what do they do for a living?
My mom's a stay-at-home mom, and then my dad just works at a warehouse.
Okay. Okay, so on a light note, what is like the most pleasant experience you've had with mom?
I think the last time was when I think it's like we go out to eat, to go to restaurants, if anything. That's one of the biggest things that we tend to spend time together with.
Okay, so you guys like to eat. What's the foods that you go to eat that you love?
Italian food. That's one thing.
Oh, I love it. And how often you get to do that with mom?
Um, Maybe once every 3 months because of school and work. I don't get to really see them as much.
Okay. What's your most pleasant memory with dad?
My dad, I think it was more when I was little. He's just like he would take me a lot to the park and stuff like that. I think now since I'm all grown up, it's not really much. He just goes to work and that's it.
But they're hardworking. I see your parents are really
Yeah,
hardworking.
yeah,
And I see you're really hardworking. I mean, 60
yeah.
hours here, 60 hours there.
Mhm.
Um, can you tell me about some strengths of your like cultural background? Tell me where your family's from.
They are from Chicago, and some of the things that I see, like the strength in my family, like you said, they're very hardworking when it comes to that.
Okay, I could see that. And I do want to ask, what are some I guess I want to know more about what do your support systems say about what's going on with your school and with work when you are able to talk to them? Because I know you said you didn't have much of a social life, but what are their opinions on what's going on at
Um,
school?
I think one of the things that they've been telling me a lot is maybe I should cut my hours from Amazon or whatever or FedEx. And because sometimes like I balance both of them out because I do either 40 hours there, but then I do a part-time job at FedEx, just going back and forth. Um, so it's like they tell me to quit one, just to give myself more time to myself. But then I'm like, I have to help out my dad with the bills and stuff like that.
Okay, so you're feeling some like pressure
Mm-hmm.
to work
Mm-hmm.
and in school. Have you reached out to your academic advisor?
Mm-mm. The only thing is, they did reach out to me because they noticed that my grades are going from a B level to a C level to turning in some assignments that were late. So I guess some of the teachers reached out, but other than that, it's been very, very stressful when it comes to it.
Yeah, that could be stressful because it's like you're telling me about my assignments. Were they able to help with a plan or formulate a plan for you?
They
Um,
said they were, but then I ended up just kind of giving up because I was just so overwhelmed because yes, I know they have a plan to fix my grades and stuff like that, but at the same time I was like, maybe I should just do it myself. I'll figure it out.
how often are you? We're gonna go back. We're gonna circle back to you were telling me that you feel overwhelmed, right? And that
Mhm.
you were having some panic attacks. How often
Mhm.
are you having these anxiety attacks or panic attacks?
I would say like twice a week.
Okay, so it's pretty often for you.
Yeah, it's pretty often. Sometimes I wake up and I start having like a little panic attack, and it's very stressful because I'm like trying so hard not to have one, but Sometimes I start overthinking and getting overwhelmed of how I can better my grades. I feel like I'm failing the program. So it's stuff like that.
And so at night, how are you sleeping?
I sleep pretty good though. I have been sleeping a little late, but mostly I've been sleeping pretty good.
Okay. Have you noticed any changes in your appetite?
I've been overeating a lot. That's where I feel like my body dysmorphia kicks in because I'm just eating so much and eating and snacking on a lot of things. It's a lot going on when it comes to me overthinking. So the more I overthink, the more I eat.
And I know you mentioned body dysmorphia. What does that mean to you?
I start looking in the mirror and I start saying like I'm just ugly, I'm fat, I'm like here, just things like that. I look at every insecurity in my body.
Okay, so there's you're looking at your body image at this time.
Mhm.
Um, and you know, your body is holding all the things that you're doing right now. And it's
Yeah.
so beautiful how strong it is
Yeah.
because it's being able to carry you through 60 hours
Mhm.
of school days, 60 hours of work weeks,
Yes, it's a lot.
so that your body is amazing
Yeah,
to
I've been
carry you.
trying.
Yeah. And so I just wanted to commend you for that.
Mhm.
Okay. I want to commend you. I want to commend your body for being able to just go through these work weeks and get here. Um, and so I want to ask you a little bit about, have you had any therapy before? Any history of mental health?
I have been going to therapy. I did go therapy once, and I felt like I wasn't getting heard. I wasn't, some of the hours that I did, it was just more of me just kind of repeating myself, and I got no help whatsoever.
Okay. So what are you looking for this time in therapy?
Just trying to cope on some skills. Trying to balance a lot, like my anxiety, see what I can do to balance my anxiety a lot more. Um, Without the medication of anything, just, help out with basically helping me out and planning a little bit of my life a little bit. Like, oh, I can do this for this amount of hours with this, but then also working on my anxiety and stuff like that.
Okay. Okay. Those are some really great goals. And I do want to ask, has there been any history of suicide? Have you had any suicidal thoughts? I know you've been really stressed out and really overwhelmed. Any feelings of like, I don't want to be here?
I used to have thoughts of harming myself, but I never came up with a plan. I think it was just more when I started having my anxiety and it's like overwhelming to the max. Then I will, but I I always say like there's no point in doing that because I'm leaving my family behind. I'm leaving my brother behind, my friends, who I love and care for. So it's something like I just thought about, yeah, cool, it'll be nice, but same time, like leaving my family and everyone behind, it's gonna be a little sad.
Yeah, that would be sad to have a place without you. You're very important. I do want to ask, what are those thoughts of harming yourself sound like?
Um, Probably like how would life be if I wasn't here?
Do you ever give yourself an answer?
No.
Okay. And then so I want to come up with a little bit of a plan since sometimes you have these thoughts. Would you be willing to talk to me about those thoughts and we can be open
Yes.
about it? Okay.
Yes.
And then if you ever feel like those thoughts are things that you want to do, can you call, text me, let me know, maybe book another session so that we can go over those thoughts, okay?
Okay.
Okay. So my goal, so we unpacked a lot today. We're coming to the end of session, and so I just want to see if there's anything that you want to address, anything that I hadn't talked about that you'd like to share with me today.
No, that should be all, actually.
Okay. And so, like going forward, what I would like to do, if you would like to work with me, I would like to work on some coping skills. Um, we definitely want to keep that safety plan and measure. Just like if you're ever feeling unsafe to yourself, I want you to know you can reach out. And then I also want to see how we can balance that work week where you're not feeling so stressful and so anxious during the week. Is this something
Mhm.
you'd like to do?
Yes.
Okay, so let's meet the same time next week if if is that good for you?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'll see you then. Thanks,
Yes.
Suzette.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
You
Bye.
too.